We're going to do another ranting video. You guys excited? You want to hear my crazy ideas here? First I want to touch on something. I think I have a prediction for what Nintendo's next console or handheld will be. And I'll get to that towards the end of this video. But for right now, I want to talk about the Wii U and the success or lack of success that it's been having so far. There's pros and cons to everything. Everyone that I know of, right now, that's in the video games, that's in the current gen video games, is talking about the Xbox One and the PS4. And like these two big giant consoles are coming out. And the Wii U, which is currently out, is playing the role of like the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was the super-powered new console that came out, and everyone was excited about it at first. And then, right around the time of launch, or a little bit after, the other companies announced their systems that were coming out, and then the Dreamcast just flopped right after it was launched. The Wii U, now in this, it's been almost a little bit over 6 months now. Well, I should say that it's been almost 8 months now that the console's been out. And the first 6 months, this is the good news I'm talking about right away. In the first 6 months of the Wii U being out, it has sold 3.5 million consoles worldwide. In that same time, the PS3 and the Xbox in its first 6 months sold less than 3 million. And those two consoles right now are considered extremely successful systems. So what's the problem? The Wii U is outselling what the 360 and the PS3 did initially. And I think that the main problem is that people and Nintendo itself were expecting something similar to what happened with the Wii. The Wii blew those numbers out of the water. The Wii was the hottest thing that Nintendo's come out with since the original NES and Super NES. But they expected the same thing to happen with the Wii U. And it's not like it's not selling well. 3.5 million consoles sold in 6 months, from what I understood, was the second highest selling console in the history of the first 6-month rule or whatever. But right now, it has hit such a freaking brick wall since everything else has been announced for this Christmas, that I believe in April and in May, the console sold between 40 and 50,000 systems in the US. Like, uh-oh, like... Wait a second, you're selling less than 50,000 systems in 1 month, when the PS3 and the 360 are still selling 100,000 consoles in a month. And I believe in April of 2013, the original Wii actually outsold the Wii U. So there is reason to get worried. The first 6 months, 3.5 million, really nice. It really started to slope down towards the end, and it's almost starting to sound like all the people that got the Wii U in that initial 6 months are all that's going to get the Wii U, because no one else seems to be picking it up except for a lower number, like 40,000 consoles in the US, like in a whole month. Like, that's a small town, even here in central Wisconsin, there's a town 15 minutes south that's that size. Like, holy shit, in the entire country, that's all that's selling is 40,000 consoles. And there was somewhere I was going to go with that, and I kind of lost shit. Well, I lost my point, but that's not a good number to be going with right now. Okay, here we go. In my theory about this is that there seems to be confusion. I think when the original Wii came out, they had the Wii Sports, then they released Wii Fitness, Wii Fit. There was Wii Music, there was Wii Sports Resort, there was all these Wii Party and Wii Play games, and now there's the Wii U. And I've seen and heard people at game stores around the area asking about what the Wii U was. And then someone said that, is that the same as the U-Touch? Because the U-Touch has the letter U, touch. U-Touch is a console accessory that was sold with the Wii that was a touchpad screen that you could play, like draw pictures with, that was released by U-Touch, like a different company. I think they were the ones that did like the brain games and stuff like that. They made some games for the Wii, the original Wii, that had the touchpad and the drawing thing. And there was some sketching games and stuff like that, maybe Pictionary and whatever games came out for the Wii. And it was a really good accessory. Well, the Wii U comes out, and I know a few people that thought the Wii U was actually Nintendo's version of the U-Touch, and it was just an accessory for the Wii. And so few people are buying new Wii stuff right now that they actually thought it was just a Wii accessory. And Nintendo has done literally nothing to convince people otherwise, or like set their story straight on this. I see Wii U's sitting at every big box store and every game store, and the owners, when I talk to them, are just like, yeah, we're not selling Wii U's at all. Like, that one's been sitting there for 4 weeks. Like, we don't know what to do. And every time I come in, people come in and they're asking like, oh, that's $250. You know, why am I going to pay $250 for an accessory? And they have to explain the whole thing to them. Like, no, this is a whole new console. And all these games here are all new games for it. And, you know, there's only like 15, 20 games out for it now anyway. So it does look like it's to people, they probably think it's the Xbox, and then there's the Kinect games. Like, there's the Kinect, you know, row of games that's like, you know, I don't want to spend that much money and get an accessory for it. Maybe I will someday, but I'll just stick with the regular console. They're looking at this, the Wii and the Wii U, like it's a Kinect type, just an accessory or a peripheral for the system. And Nintendo's done like literally nothing to, I mean, to say, hey everybody, this is an all new console, or hey, wow, this is so exciting. And they're not even really building off of all of the, even though I can't really say they had much momentum. All the momentum kind of fizzled out in 2011, which is the year that I personally thought the Wii U should have come out in, was 2011, a whole year before it actually did come out. But that's a whole other story. That Nintendo, it's like the momentum and the idea behind the Wii was the waggle controllers and the, you know, the motion sensitive controllers and playing games like that. And they kind of just said, well, that's really cool, a neat way to play games. That's how we've been telling you you're going to be playing games now from now on, ever since, you know, 6, 7 years ago. But we're going to tell you now it's a touchpad, a big giant touchpad, and you got to play your games with a touchpad. And, you know, you can watch TV on it. You can even take the games that you're watching on your TV and you can put it on the little touchpad so you can play it like that. And but if you want to play multiplayer, then you can use your old wiggle controllers and the old classic controllers and things like that. And it's like, you're really confusing people now, Nintendo, because you initially had the controls with the waggle controllers and the Wiimote and the nunchuck and doing all that, and now you're saying, ooh, you can also use a touchpad. As a matter of fact, a lot of the games that came out for the Wii U are only using the touchpad. Oh, and by the way, you can only use one per console, so you can't even buy the screen controller, that Wii U controller, whatever they're calling it, the big iPad-looking thing. You can't even buy another one. They don't even sell them separately. You can only have the one. I've heard that there are games that there aren't any, I don't think there are any that are out now, but there are games that will eventually use multi-controllers of those, which I'd assume those things got to cost like $100 or $150 or something like that, because it is basically a tablet in your hand that has controllers on the end of it. Very cool concept. But you can only use, you know, 1 or 2 per console, and so... and they're not selling them separately, so really it's saying, remember all those party games and all the games we're having you play multiplayer? Well, now you can only have one player. And if you want any other players, they have to use the Wiimote and the nunchuck. And it's like, so some of us are going to be using these to control, and some of us are going to be using this big touchpad to control. I don't think that sounds that much fun. And especially me, I got kids, you know. So if I had it for Christmas morning, we opened the Wii U, what do you think the kids are going to want to play these games on? Are they going to want to play on the brand new awesome tablet controller, or are they going to want to use their old Wiimotes and controllers that have got dust all over them and they're all dirty and, well, they're not all dirty, but you know, they've been used and beat up on for the last couple of years to play new games? Are they going to want to use that tablet, or are they going to want to use the nunchucks? Obviously they're going to want to use the tablet, and they're going to probably fight over using the tablet. Who wouldn't want to use the new controller? So, I mean, you would want to buy, like, new controllers. If this thing came out, why didn't they have a 2-player bundle pack where you had 2 of those big tablets? I mean, the tablet should either be the only way to play games now, or you should just stick with the nunchucks and just say, and the nunchuck and the Wiimote, and just say, hey, all the games are in HD now. And that's it. It's just very confusing, and I don't think anyone is buying it. I think all the people that did buy it already are your whole initial thing. I mean, I can see this. I could see Nintendo pulling this out and turning things around and getting that Wii U very popular again by this Christmas. I mean, there's a couple advantages. One, I don't think the Xbox One and the PS4 are going to be all that cool. I really don't. They're not going to be that giant generation gap, like from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2. There isn't going to be that like huge, like, wow, these games look so much better, or oh my gosh, these games play so much better. I mean, when you jump from like the game or the N64 to the GameCube, like, wow, these games are playing so nice now, and everything looks so much better. It's going to be like, wow, these games look slightly better than the PS3 games. But I don't know why I paid $500 for this box, or I paid $5.99 for this box. I don't think, I think that those are going to be very cool entertainment systems, and I'll probably eventually, our family will own a PS4 or an Xbox One. I mean, depending on if we want to be spied on or not. If we don't want to be spied on, I'm assuming we will with a PS4. But with Sony, you just have your credit card information stolen, so whatever. I don't think they're going to be as cool as people think. I do think they'll sell very well. I mean, they are the new Xbox and new PlayStation consoles, and they're coming out this Christmas, so they're the new thing. But Nintendo's got some work to do if they want to turn things around, and I think they could. A new Mario Kart game, a new Smash Brothers. Once the new Smash Brothers comes out, that's like their instant system seller. When Smash Brothers comes out, everyone will run to the store and say, "Oh, I gotta have this," and then and if they're still confused at that point, they'll buy the Wii U version of Smash Brothers, put it in their Wii, and it won't work, and they'll say, "Holy shit, what's wrong here? Why can't I get this game to play?" And then this guy at the store will say, "Yeah, that's a Wii U game." Wii U game? Wii U is a new console, guys. What? And then they'll have to buy their Wii U to play the new Smash Brothers, and that might work out just fine. But if things don't work out and Nintendo keeps on this slippery slope to nowhere, I have a feeling that this will be Nintendo's last console on TVs. And that goes into my prediction. I shouldn't say their last console on TVs. That's not what I meant. That will be their last standalone console. And I think that the Wii U is almost testing the waters on this whole concept. Because on the Wii U console, say you're in a living room and you're playing games and you're having fun, and someone says, "Hey, I want to watch the new episode of Blue's Clues on Nick Jr." And you're all like, "Whoa, just hold the fizzone," and you take your little thing and you click a couple buttons, and your game goes from your TV onto your Wii U controller. And you can't walk away from your Wii U. You can't get more than like 100 feet or something like that. But you stay in the living room and you're just pop your headphones in, and you're still enjoying your console game in the palm of your hands with that tablet. And your little cousin is playing and watching Blue's Clues and dancing around the room while you're in La La Land playing Super Mario Brothers Wii U. And you're happy. It's almost like they've already created that. They're testing the waters with this concept, because I think if the Wii U fails, and if it that basically, by failing, I mean it's going to continue selling less and less and less every month, and by Christmas, maybe not this Christmas, but Christmas 2014, say that system still has not kicked itself back in the ass and gotten itself over 100,000 consoles sold a month. Like, it needs that, and it needs maybe double that for a while to really get people back into it and back interested in it. If it stays down to this number of like 40,000, 30,000 consoles sold a month, I think Nintendo will eventually clearance it, and it will be gone by Christmas of 2014. That means they got a year and a half from now to really kick things back up in gear. If that happens, and by that time the 3DS, I believe, will be about 4 years old. I think that came out in 2011, 2010. I can't remember which year it came out. But the 3DS will already have, I mean, especially in the DS's terms of lifespans, there was the DS, and there was the DSi, and then there was the 3DS. I think that what Nintendo could do, if the Wii U fails and the DS is still very strong, because I don't see the DS console going anywhere, or the DS handheld, Game Boy, whatever the Nintendo's handhelds are going to be called in the future. I'd assume it'd still be DS since it's such a huge deal. I think I could very well see, and this is my prediction, if the Wii U fails, this is my prediction, that they will combine the Wii and the DS idea into a tablet console would be their next console, period. Like, they would go from having always this split thing of having the handhelds and the console, they would bring them together and become one. And that means, the Pokemon games that are coming out and all the Mario games would all be new original titles on this one handheld console. And I don't know what they'd call it. I have no idea what they'd call it. But basically it would be the technology that they're using for the Wii U, and it would be in that tablet. And they could maybe have the light versions, they could have the XL versions, they could do all that gear all over again. But my idea is that they'll sell this new console, I shouldn't say console, they'll sell this new handheld, and there'll be amazing graphics. It'll look like, you know, maybe as powerful as the Wii U. I guess that'd be probably about as good as the PS Vita, because the Vita is a very powerful console, or powerful handheld. I keep saying console. It's a powerful handheld, and the Wii, this new Nintendo handheld, would be just at least as powerful as the Visa or the Vista. The Vista? Is it? No, Vita. Vita. That's it. Wow, I am tired. I need to go to bed. Anyway, I'll finish this thought. The Vita, the Vista. Oh, Windows Vista and Sony Vita. Anyway, the PS Vita. So anyway. Oh, I'm so silly. Hi. Nintendo new handheld will be as powerful as the PS Vita. And they'll do all of those things I was talking about. What, the mini version, the XL version, whatever. And one of the accessories that they'll sell with this thing, and it will only have one screen, because the dual screens, while it was really cool, it's gotten to a point where just one big screen would probably be much better, and they could always just have it, you know, sideways, or they could do whatever they want with it to make it 2 split screens, but just put them together. One screen, you'll have access to all the virtual consoles. You can download GameCube games and that whole thing with the virtual console that they currently have on the Wii U and the DS, 3DS. But one accessory that will come with it, not necessarily saying it'll come in the box with it, but it might be sold separately, will be an output to TV. And how will the output to TV work? It'll be a separate box that you buy, a little box maybe about the size of the Ouya, which is only like this little Rubik's Cube looking thing, and you'll just put it next to your TV, and you'll plug it into the wall, you have an AC adapter, and then you'll have one HDMI output to the TV, and that's the box. That is your TV output. And you'll just, you know, go to the source from the TV. It's an HDTV. Go to source, and then by Bluetooth you will send the signal from your screen to that box, and that'll appear on the TV, and you will be able to play all your games, you know, on your new Wii DS or whatever you want to call it, on your TV. And that is how Nintendo will go both console and handheld at the same time. And they're basically doing something similar to now, where you can transfer the TV screen from the Wii U onto your little Wii U tablet, and you can see all the beautiful HD graphics right in front of you. And it, you know, it sends the signal from the Wii U box to the little tablet. Well, now this is basically the reverse, where it'll send it from the console, which is in your hands, the tablet, about the size of a Game Gear or a Lynx. It'll send it to that little box on the TV. It'll put it on the TV in HDMI, and you'll be playing in glorious HD, and hopefully there won't be much lag. I would assume there wouldn't be any, but you never know. And with that, that little box can take up to, what, you know, 4 or 8 inputs from different that console. So you can have one master one that outputs the video, and then you can have another guy come in and say, hey, I want to play with you guys. I got my new Nintendo handheld too. It was $199, and it's the coolest thing ever. It's got HD graphics, and it's touchscreen, and blah blah blah, whatever. And he'd be like, cool, you're gonna be player 2. And you just push a little button that'll sync it up with your initial Wii, or the DS, the Wii DS. It'll sync it up with the Wii DS, and boom, he's player 2. And he won't have anything displaying on a screen unless it's a specific game that has that display on the screen, but you'll pop up on the screen as player 2. I'm playing in the new Smash Brothers. I'm playing in the new Mario Kart. 2 other friends walk in, and they got their handhelds that they bought from the new Nintendo shop, and boom, everybody's playing on a TV. And then say, everybody's like, hey, I gotta get going. I'm gonna go. I gotta go, you know, and like, yeah, I gotta go to bed anyway. I got school in the morning or something like that. And everybody leaves, and they got their handhelds in their hands, and they can keep playing on their way home. You know, put into whatever game they want. And that's my prediction. I think the Wii U, while it seemed like a really cool idea, I don't think it's gonna. I don't know, man. I don't know how the new Smash Brothers is gonna work. Are you gonna? I mean, that's a really cool idea, but is there gonna be any new like touchscreen like moves? And if so, how are you gonna play 4 players on the screen at once? How are you going to go to like the new game shops around town, or around the area? They have their Smash Brothers tournaments and stuff. Is there one guy going to be using the tablet and another guy's going to be using nunchucks? Because I don't think it has GameCube inputs, the Wii U. So everybody that I remember played Smash Brothers Brawl for the Wii, they play with GameCube controllers. How's it going to work? Like, I want to know how this thing is working. And I everywhere I go and I see it at stores and stuff, I'm like, the Wii U looks really nice. Like, the games look great on HD TVs, and they look really awesome. And it seems like a really, really cool one-player console. But after that, how can you do multiplayer? I mean, the Wii was all about multiplayer. Everything was multiplayer. Like, you want to have a party night, you got to have a Wii set up. You know, at least, you know, a couple years ago when the Wii was so huge. Now it's like, The Wii U is going in a whole different direction. This almost reminds me of when the Super NES was on the top of the world. And it was like RPGs, action games, every type of game you could ever think of. And Nintendo's like, oh, and now the next console is going to be the N64. Enjoy your 3D platformers, first-person shooters, and sports games, because that's all we know how to do. Forget your RPGs and strategy games and action RPGs and, you know, anime games and just about anything else. Also, they knew... That's a whole nother video. Anyway, yeah, it just seems like they went in a whole 360, like, forget what we were doing with the Wii. What we told you was the future. But we want to do this whole new thing. And I don't know. So that's my prediction. Tell me what you think. I think it's a pretty cool idea. The Wii DS. Wii DS. So we'll call that the Wii DS. W-E-E-D-I-E. Weedy, and then S. Like the Superman logo would be like Weedy S. Anyway, yeah, so, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I don't know, I'd like to hear response videos, or maybe you guys comment below and say, no, you're fucking stupid, that's a terrible idea. Or, wow, that's a really cool idea, but you're still fucking stupid, whatever. Anyway, you guys take it easy. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Peace. Peace. I'm an idiot.